Guys, welcome to the pre-market analysis of 9th of April. So let's see the developments, and the market is actually in a confusing phase now. Market touched the 24,000 level, and it's now in a confused state. I'll discuss that as well. So let's start with the biggest development. That's the ceasefire agreement that we discussed in the pre-market analysis yesterday between US and Iran that agreed for 2 weeks of ceasefire. There are some conditions that US, US have put forward that Iran should open Strait of Hormuz, and Iran said US and Israel have to stop all attacks, right? So in that case, Iran will allow the controlled oil passage. So this agreement was actually mediated by Pakistan. So there is some ceasefire which came into existence, and that's why you got a big gap up yesterday, as we discussed, almost 700 plus point gap up, and Nifty closed 900 point positive. But overnight, yes, again the things have changed. So what happened is Israel attacked almost 100 plus locations in Lebanon, and Iran responded with again closure of Strait of Hormuz, and Iran warned, Iran will withdraw from the ceasefire agreement if attack on Lebanon continues again. But they have made it very clear that this ceasefire is not applicable to Lebanon or Hezbollah, right? That's a different group altogether. So there is a disagreement scope is there now, right? The key conflict is on one side. If you see, the mediator was Pakistan. So Pakistan and Iran, even Pakistan also asked Israel to stop attack on Lebanon and Hezbollah. So Pakistan and Iran, they believe that this ceasefire include Iran and Lebanon, but US and Israel is considering this ceasefire does not include Lebanon or Hezbollah, and this is only applicable to Iran. So Trump have also made the statement that Lebanon and Hezbollah are not part of the deal. So as a result, what you can see is there is an agreement exist, there is a ceasefire exist, but that is not aligned across the parties, right? Iran is believing that this is part of Hezbollah, and Lebanon is also part of it. But US and Israel is not considering otherwise. Even the mediator is also considering Lebanon is also part of it, that is Pakistan. So but still, there is a positive development that US negotiation team JD Vance and Kushner will be traveling to Pakistan on Saturday, and they continue negotiating with Iran. The talks with Iran will be there. So Saturday is the next important deadline. But despite all these, yesterday our market we have seen already, and Dow Jones have closed almost 2.85% up, which is huge. I think in a year that's the biggest up move you can see in Dow Jones, and S&P 2.51, Nasdaq 2.8%. VIX, most importantly, yesterday we have seen 20% have crashed in Indian market. VIX have crashed, and from 26 now it became 21. So the free fears significantly have reduced because of this. Oil price also, if you see, oil prices have fallen 10 to 15%. And if you look at the current level of WTI and Brent is around 96.7. So oil is below 100, which is very strong positive for the market. Now, if you see GIFT Nifty is indicating almost 23,950, which means 100 point gap down, which is not negative, which is very normal because you got almost 1,000 point rally yesterday. So this is very much normal only. And US market also slightly negative. So don't consider this as bad. GIFT Nifty, I'll be coming back to that later. I'll put this in a different perspective as well. So again, if you look at Indian ADR, banking ADRs are 5% up. Yesterday we have seen HDFC was 5% up. IT ADRs are almost flat to positive. But again, it is just reflecting the previous day rally that we have seen here. That is not a fresh signal. Apart from that, we also discussed about the RBI policy meeting yesterday. So the outcome is interest rate is unchanged, which is 5.25, and growth projection, if you see, that have been increased. 7.4 it was before, now 7.6, which is positive. And the financial year 2027, it has been projected at 6.9. It can be revised later also. So the growth outlook is positive. Inflation projection, if you see, the full year, it is 4.6, still within the tolerance level, right? And Q1, it is 4%. Earlier, it was 3.9, but because of these developments, it's 4%, still within the limit, within the level, no problem. Because 4 plus or minus 2, that's the level. So it can go till 6, comfort level. It can go below till 2, that is comfort level. Okay. So Q2, it's 4.4%. Earlier, it was expected to be 4.2. So inflation rising possibility is there, but that's not a big concern. That won't force RBI to increase the rate unless this is crossing that 6 percentage. So no rate cut is expected soon anyway, but not hike also. So it may be status quo, which will be maintained today. So apart from that, most importantly today, TCS result is there. So that is coming after market hours, right? So the estimates, Bloomberg estimate revenues around 3% up quarter on quarter, and EBIT margin is 20% to 25%. Profit is around 27% quarter to quarter. So you can expect a high volatility in IT sector, especially in TCS. There could be a short covering. There should be some profit booking, right? Ahead of the result, all this will happen. FII, DII data, if you see, yesterday they sold for 2,800 crore again. So there is no point in discussing this. Continuously selling. I think 30th consecutive session they are selling. In the month of April alone, it's almost 45,000 crore. In the month of March, almost 1.25 lakh crore. So this is 43,000 crore now. Just it's April 9. 1/3 of April is not yet over. DIAs bought not much, but still 4,200 crore. If you see open interest, I told you in the pre-market also yesterday, more puts will be added. So yes, after the expiry, more 25% calls also added because you got a higher opening, and puts have added because of the confidence, that is also 25%. So PCR is unchanged because both are almost same. Call additions happen mainly because it is at 24,000. So aggressive call rating is there. So 1.07 is the PCR. So current situation, if you see, it's a temporary relief, but still there is a fragile structure because different parties are interpreting this in a different way. So the positive is ceasefire agreement. US market have given a strong rally. VIX have dropped. Oil prices below 100. All these are positive. Negative is Israel is not aligned to this. Israel is still attacking Lebanon and attacked almost 100 areas, killed almost 250 people. And Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz is closed again. So agreement is not uniform. So the confusion still remain. But if oil stays below 100, that is going to support the market. If there is an escalation resume, then oil spike, and then the market will see that pressure also. So yesterday, what we have seen is big gap up, right? We were expecting 650-point gap up, but opened up around more than 700-point gap up and made a high of close to 24,200 and closed just below 24,000. So a strong green candle. There is a big bullish momentum, and that lower high, lower low formation is broken, coming into the bullish territory. And now the moment they are breaking 24,000, this is now turning out to be a bullish, indication. Now above 20 MA and 10 EMA on daily time frame, which is again good. So if you see RSI is also 54, which is again looking very good. But now important resistance level is 24,300 and 24,500. Support is 23,800. Right. Bank Nifty, 2,200 point gap up, 55,780 touched. At one point, it came to 51,000. Remember, Nifty 22,200 also. And Bank Nifty closed at 55,700. So again, strong green pattern, good amount of, put open interest is also added. So things are now looking good. So if I want to put this in a perspective, once after this level of 22,200 has been touched, in the last four sessions, 1,800 points, 2,000 points is what almost 22,200 to 24,200 also almost touched. So 2,000 point in just a matter of 4 days in Nifty. Four sessions, close to 2,000 points, which is almost 8 to 10% in 4 days. So that's crazy, right? Roughly 2%, 3% a day. If you see, first day we have seen 500-point up move, right? And then we have seen 400-point rally. We have seen 300-point rally. Yesterday, 700 to 800-point rally because of the ceasefire news. So market has already was anticipating that this issue will settle, and that's why this rally have started before. Otherwise, we would have got a sudden spike of 1,300, 1,400 point. Even day before yesterday, also towards the end, you have seen a massive short covering rally as well. So now you can see there is a clear range also have been shifted. We were also talking about 22,500 to 23,500 range for expiry, but now 23,500 is decisively broken. Now we need to look at 23,500 to 24,500 range, right? So the new resistance is 24,500. So the condition is that if Nifty closes above 24,000 and sustain there, then Nifty is going to be like technically long, which is very good. So previously we were making reference like 26,200 was the high, 26,300. Then if 25,000 is broken, then Nifty can turn bearish. that is broken, 24,000 broken, 23,800 broken, 23,000 broken, 22,800 broken, 22,500 broken, 22,200 it came, now reversed to 24,200. Now we need to get a close above 24,000. That means Nifty is technically long, but as of now, it looks like it is going to be technically long. Okay, so that's the reversal point. That's the bullish confirmation. And current situation, if you see, just close slightly below 24,000. That means not yet confirmed. Let's see, because yesterday it was acting as a big resistance. Multiple attempts has been made to close that, but it didn't happen. But the ceasefire violation, may push it down again. Let's see, that upside momentum may be limited because of this violation, which is actually happening. So yesterday, along with our market, we have also seen Japanese market and Korean markets were rallying 5%, 6%. Now, if you look at that, that is also slightly down. US futures also slightly down. So the question is, will this ceasefire will hold? Now, the future trigger, as I told you, that is on Saturday. There is a peace talk, which is mediated by Pakistan, is going to happen in Pakistan with Iran. So JD Vance is coming to Pakistan for this. So maybe the final agreements and everything will be made at that time. Not yet fully disclosed fully. That is why there's confusion and everything. So both sides are claiming the victory also internally, right? So as of now, there is all confusion which is going on. So still you need to be very careful. You don't want to do aggressively long or even at this higher level. And after this kind of rally, now what can happen? You lost the opportunity. It's 2,000 point recovered. So 26,200, 300 level to 22,200, 4,000 rally on the downside, 2,000 recovered, which is 50% Fibonacci retracement also. So it can consolidate or it can give a dip as well. So see, market cannot move like 2% daily continuously like this, what we have seen. Last 3 days, it was because of this anticipation you have seen that. So now if you see GIFT Nifty is indicating 100-point decline, that is very normal. That is part of this consolidation. That is part of a small dip that is coming after this big rally which we have got. Still, market is having that strength, right? Strong bullish sentiment is there. Close near day's high. All these are positive only. Now, if you look at open interest, maximum call OI now shifted to 24,500. After that, 24,000, 24,200. And fresh writing is coming at 24,500, 24,000. That's a straddle people, and 24,700 also. Put side, if you see, maximum is at 24,000, which one, now 24,000 is the big acting as a resistance. So 24,000. So that should be the straddle players. So they are expecting that should act as a support, and the market is going to close above 24,000. That's where the maximum is coming, maybe because of yesterday's rally. But after that, this will be a comfortable level. So my positions are also built around 23,500 to 23,800 level. I am not going to 24,000. So my positions is between 23,500 and 23,800 on the put side. Call side 24,000 and above, right? I am still comfortable with 24,000 as long as I'm not getting a close above 24,000. So second, after 24,000, the puts addition are at 23,500 and 23,900. Fresh additions are coming at 23,900, 24,000, which could be straddle people because the market is there. You are getting good amount of premium also. And if you're expecting an upside move, even call side also, you have a good amount of premium. So if you are getting an upside move of 300 point also, you will be not in trouble because of the call sell. Even if you're getting a downside move of 300 point also, put sell is not going to harm you below that only. That means you have a range of around 300, 600 points battlefield. Safe is 23,500. There are many writing over there. So the expected level now has been shifted from 23,500 to 24,500. That range support is at 23,800. Okay. So market, we have seen a ceasefire. It is positive, but the problem is it's incomplete. It is confused. Oil price is cooling, which is positive. So market is strong, but market at the same time is fragile also. Any news, any headline again can bring a huge sell-off in the market. So it's a relief rally that we have seen, not a stability phase, not a fresh buying. Need to look at this Lebanon conflict again. TCS result is important, oil movement. So volatility may be there. Yesterday it was calm, cool, but let's see today onwards what's going to happen. So there could be a consolidation before the next move. Don't expect too much explosion on the upside. Again, don't expect too much immediate move on the upside. So that's about the session. Thank you so much.